Hello, everybody. How are you today? I'm just coming in to say a few words because somebody needs to hear it. But the biggest struggle of Christians, especially when you're trying to change your life, when you're in the middle of transformation, when you are trying to build something, change your ways, change things. Like, the hardest thing for us is not to start it, not to do it. Consistency is hard, but the reason consistency is hard is because your focus is interrupted by so many distractions. And the reason that you're having a hard time focusing and you're getting so many distractions because you're in the middle of spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare is the distraction. That's the whole point of Satan and his agents of darkness, his demons, his witches, his warlocks, his sorcerers. He surrounds you with them. In your family, through your friends, through your associates, at work. Your day is consisted on a bunch of distractions. And the distractions come in so many different ways. They come in problems, financial problems, problems with your cars, something broke in your house, bills, people misunderstanding you, or not trying to understand you. They want you to change, but they don't want to change anything. Or they're mocking you for trying to change, or because you're trying to take time to focus on yourself. They have a problem with that. You a problem. You acting funny. You this and that. All that is distractions. But in Mark chapter 9, verses 42 through 50, Jesus talked about cutting off your hand or your foot or gouging out your eye if it doesn't work for you, if it's leading you to sin, if it's not working for you. Not to put yourself in the situation to get offended, to sin. Don't put yourself in bad situations. If the situation or the person or the thing is going to bring you to what is not good for you, it's better to risk losing that friendship. It's better to risk someone getting upset with you. It's better to lose what is not already not working for you than to go against God, or to go against God and His word and His law. Because it goes back to the same saying, what does it a man to gain the world and lose his soul? You're not actually losing your soul, but you're losing your path. You're using your focus. You're losing what you're supposed to be aiming for. Because the more and more you allow people to sway you from what you're doing, you lose yourself. If you're trying to change, if you're trying to do better, and something or somebody or a situation doesn't feed that, it doesn't give that energy, it doesn't help you with it, then it really, God is trying to say, it needs to be let go. It needs to, you're not losing anything. You're just elevating yourself to have more and more standards for yourself. You are the focus at this point. So when you're in spiritual warfare, You have to stop and think about, what am I really fighting? Is it habits? Is it anger? Is it my emotions? Is it addictions? Is it, and whatever it is, the point is, they're fighting against you to not allow you to break the habits, not to allow you to do the things that you need to do to fix whatever it is that you're trying to fix, that you see needs improvement. They're giving forces to you. They're coming with forces at you to stop you, to make sure that that you're not meeting your goals, to make you frustrated, to make you feel upset with yourself, like you fail, like you're disappointed in yourself. They want you to be disappointed in yourself so that you will get so frustrated that you will stop. If you make a mistake or you miss a couple of times that you're trying to do something, like I'm working on my consistency. I didn't post. I did a 7-day short day, and that's showing me something. I didn't post every day those 7 days. It was to be consistent about posting and walking. I did my walks every day. I didn't do my posts every day. But that didn't mean I stopped doing my walks, and that didn't mean that I don't post. That means, okay, this week, what is it that I need to do to make sure that I do get because I can get my walks in, whether it's in the morning, evening, whatever. But what do I need to do to get the post in? What do I need to do to start the process of not procrastinating, but delivering, showing up, doing the things I need to do? Because if you show yourself discipline in one area, 2 areas, 3 areas, that discipline falls over into other areas. It helps you align yourself in other areas that you really need to align up in. Creating more discipline, more alignment, transformation, new ways of thinking, completing goals. Your goals don't have to be huge right all. You can do little small goals right now to complete them, because that's going to give you the ability to have it will build up your, what was the word I had right on my head? It will build up your ability, your capacity. Because the blessings that God have coming for us now, the ones that we are building up for now, the ones that we're preparing for now, the things that we're trying to transfer now, we need the capacity to receive, the capacity to be able to steward, to understand, to receive all the wisdom that comes along with it. There's a lot that goes along with transformation. We don't realize it because so many years we just built all these layers up. It's the layers and layers and layers of things that we built up, and we just called it life, and it was just normal, and you shift from one place to another. But a lot of times when we shifted from one decade to the next, or one phase of life to the next, we brought in a whole lot of those old thoughts, those old ways, those old habits, and those are the things that we need to break out, because if we notice, those things are not taking us anywhere. They haven't done anything for us basically our entire life. The good things, the things that bring you joy, the things that work for you, the things that are of Christ, that are of the fruits of the Spirit, you keep those, and then you break off the ones that don't, so you can build up in those areas. The spiritual warfare needs to be identified. You need to not normalize. That's what's been going on with so many areas and so many people. normalizing your problems, the issues you're going through, the patterns that keep showing up. You're normalizing them as this always happens, because you start to expect it then. So it's hard to break it. People want to make it think like you just have to change your mind. You got to stop thinking, but you can't change things in the physical without dealing with it in the spiritual. Because the spiritual, some things are spiritual, and people are always trying to tell you how to deal with it in the physical, not want to touch the spiritual. Not wanting to mention that, not even acknowledging it. But it's Philippians 5 and 6 that tells you not to lean on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge God. I may be paraphrasing it. I might even I think it is Philippians. I think it is Philippians. But to lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge God, and all your ways acknowledge God, and He will guide you. People want to take out God and tell you how you can, the God is within you. He's not, He is. God, Jesus preached about the kingdom being within you. But He was also God. He was also the Lord. So He's telling you that He's with you. But it's also Him that we have to give the glory, because there was still a creator. He's still our creator. We can't just say, oh, it's in us, and exempt that He exists, that He's created us, that we did not create ourselves. I'll leave that for another video. But this is just a confirmation for somebody or people, because they're trying to figure out why they can't. They're getting upset with themselves because they're having a hard time with focusing. They're having a hard time with beating their distractions. They're trying to do something, and something always throws them off. Acknowledge the problem. Acknowledge what's going on. Acknowledge that you are in spiritual warfare. First of all of us in some fashion, some way or fashion, we're in spiritual warfare, whether we know it or not. Most things that we go through that we normalize as trials and tribulations, because people say, well, the Lord says that the world is, that your life and that your world will be full of trials and tribulations, but you trying to make it seem like it's not. That's because He knows that Satan and all these demons and his witches and warlocks, witches and everything have working all that stuff. Then He knew all they were going to be coming towards you. He knew that they would be creating problems for you. They were creating problems then. So He's not just saying, oh, in the word there's just going to be trials and tribulations. He said to not worry because He has overcome the world. But I'm saying people don't acknowledge, or some people don't realize they're in spiritual warfare. They just think that this is a normal thing. They don't realize that these patterns are not normal. They don't realize that even when God does give you tests. He does allow you to go through certain things, but when He allows you to go through certain things, and when you pass that test, if you stand fast and you stay with it and you go, He will elevate you. You're going to get something out of it. But Satan is going to consider, he's going to try to keep you where you can't even realize when you're tested, or that you're in warfare. And the more dormant you are to this low vibrational world, the less sensitive you are to the spirit. You have to acknowledge you're in spiritual warfare. It doesn't, sometimes you're not in a serious thing. It just might be some stuff you need to pay attention to, that because you lacked in prayer, and that because you haven't been fasting, or whatever it is. And then some people are going through serious warfare. They've been going through the same thing their entire life. These patterns they see throughout. That is a clear sign right there. If you see multiple people have been going, and you grew up watching these same patterns, the same things going on throughout your life with other people, it is a clear sign that that is a spiritual warfare. There's an altar in your family. That's another video. But there's an altar on your family, or altar built on you from somebody close to you, wherever. But the problem is you're in spiritual warfare. You have to acknowledge it. You have to... You acknowledge the spiritual warfare, but then you need to distinguish what the actual things you're going through. If you keep going in circles with your money, if every time you try to get ahead, every time you try to win, every time you get something, it don't last long, or you have 2 problems at first, and then the next time you got 3, and then it goes back down to 2, and then you got 4 the next time, and it just takes everything. You in a spiritual warfare. That's about your finances. They're trying to hold you down. If you're fornication, and that you're having dreams where you can't remember your dreams, that's an attack, because they're trying to keep you from getting the warnings from God, from getting the lessons from God, from getting instructions from God. If you're, and all that blocks you because you're trying to figure out how to do something. You can't get clarity. You can't get understanding because you can't get communication with God. You might pray all the time. You might fast. But if you're not strategic with your prayers, if you're not focusing on what the problem is, the actual problem, and it may be several layers, but you got to break a layer off at a time. So you start off with your Psalms. First, you're trying to get them to leave you alone. You're trying to break them. You're trying to let them know that you know something is going on, and that you're not blind anymore, that you're not dumb. And you start with the Psalms 35, 27, 109, 140, 83. Your Psalms 23 should be said too, because that was a deep one. But Psalms 18, Psalms 121. You can start with those and sit and read and say, okay, these are the ones I need to say at 12 o'clock at night. My 91 and my 23, I should say, in the morning when I wake up. My 35, my 27, my 109, my 140, my 83, my 18. These are the ones I need to say at 12 o'clock at night, at 3 o'clock in the morning. You have to understand. You have to understand that it's not just called spiritual warfare because you're just saying your prayer. You're going to war with them. It's your altar against their altar. You're at war. It's one-sided now because you're not aware of what's going on, because you haven't been going back and forth. Even though you've been in prayer, you haven't been strategic with it. It takes time to learn. Don't give up because you don't see results immediately. You don't see results immediately because you got to undo some things. You got to wear down some things. You got to learn some things. But in the spirit, something is always happening. And the attacks might intensify a little bit more because they're trying to break you. I want you to know, when you see that, worship, praise, because you know something is breaking. You know that they losing a grip. When you acknowledge them, when you acknowledge that you know what's going on, oh, it's a problem then. Because see, they have a problem with working in the open. They work in secret. They work in darkness. Don't let them beat you down with distractions. Rise up. Rise up. Keep showing up and get your prayers together. You don't have to, and that's your scriptures. I go on YouTube and I say, okay, you probably, most of the time we have mountain spirits. And if you don't understand what mountain spirits is, or you don't believe in them, I promise you that that's probably why you definitely have them, because you don't believe in them, or because you don't know them. So therefore, it's easier for them to monitor you. You go on YouTube. I don't care if it's the animated cartoons. I don't care if it's people's. Get you those videos that give you prayers again, and you go to war. You go to war on your mountain spirits, your spirit spouses. I'm not saying everybody have a spirit spouse. I'm saying people have spirit spouses or spirit lovers, and that is a real thing, and they are dangerous. If you have dreams of you eating, or having sex in dreams, or whatever, these are mountain spirits, these are spiritual spouses, these are, you have to fight them. And you need to get strategic prayers to fight them. In addition to the scriptures I've given you, if you look in the link in the description, I have a warfare manual with all kind of warfare prayers. For mountain spirits as well, and for the incubus, succubus spirits. I also have daily warfare prayers. I have against witches, for generational curses. There are different warfare prayers for many different situations in that manual. You can click on the link and purchase one today. But it's time for you to go to war. It's altar against altar. You got to be consistent, and you got to be aggressive. Until next time, I'm out.